The city was theirs. A concrete jungle, a sprawling labyrinth of steel and glass where shadows danced under the neon lights. The Serpent's grip was everywhere, tightening with every passing day. Strangled by the Serpent's grip, the city gasped for breath. The chains of fear and control wrapped around every corner, every alleyway, every heart. They called themselves El Serpiente, a name whispered in fear, etched on bullets, bought and paid for in blood. Their presence was a dark cloud casting a shadow over the lives of the innocent and guilty alike. I'd seen what they did, the way they turned our streets into their own personal battleground. The chalk outlines on the pavement, the police tape fluttering in the wind, were daily reminders of their reign of terror. The way they turned our kids into addicts, innocent lives once full of potential, now lost to the poison they peddled. The discarded syringes, the vacant stares, the broken dreams, they were all casualties of this unending war. This wasn't a war on drugs, it was a massacre, and we were losing. The flashing police lights, the grieving families, the vigils held in memory of those lost. It was a cycle of despair that seemed impossible to break. For years they operated with impunity, untouchable. The crime bosses in their expensive suits, the gang members counting money in dark rooms, they were the untouchables, the kings of this concrete jungle. Their leader, a ghost, a phantom known only as El Jefe. His name was spoken in hushed tones, his face a mystery, his presence felt but never seen. He was the puppet master, pulling the strings from the shadows. We'd hit them before, small-time busts, foot soldiers, nothing that stuck. The raids, the arrests, they were drops in an ocean of crime. The real power, the real threat always remained just out of reach, but this time, it was different. This time, we had a chance, a sliver of hope, a whisper of a plan. The tactical team, the strategic points marked on the map, it was all coming together. This time, we were ready to strike at the heart of the Serpent. The operation was massive, sprawling, years in the making. It was a coordinated effort that involved countless hours of planning, strategizing, and collaboration among various law enforcement agencies. The scale of this operation was unprecedented, and the stakes were incredibly high. Every detail had to be meticulously planned and executed to ensure success. The lives of many depended on the precision of our actions. This was not just another mission, it was a defining moment in our careers and for the community we served. We called it King Cobra. The name itself struck fear into the hearts of those who knew about it. It symbolized the deadly precision and the swift, decisive action we intended to take. The operation was designed to dismantle a deeply entrenched criminal network that had plagued our city for years. The code name was a constant reminder of the venomous threat we were up against and the lethal force we were prepared to unleash to neutralize it. Months were spent mapping out their network. We analyzed every connection, every transaction, and every movement. Our team of investigators worked tirelessly, often late into the night, to piece together the intricate web of criminal activities. We used advanced technology and old-fashioned detective work to uncover the hidden layers of their operations. Each pin on the map represented a breakthrough, a step closer to bringing down the entire network. Every street corner, every stash house, every dirty cop on their payroll. We left no stone unturned. Surveillance teams were deployed to monitor key locations around the clock. Undercover agents risked their lives to gather critical intelligence. We documented every suspicious activity, every illicit deal, and every corrupt officer who betrayed their oath. The evidence we collected was overwhelming, and it painted a grim picture of the corruption and criminality that had infiltrated our city. We were meticulous. We had to be. Every piece of evidence was scrutinized, every lead was followed up. Our detectives reviewed case files with a fine-tooth comb, ensuring that no detail was overlooked. We double-checked and cross-referenced our findings to build an airtight case. The integrity of our investigation was paramount, and we knew that even the smallest mistake could jeopardize the entire operation. One mistake, one loose end, and it all goes to hell. The pressure was immense. Every decision, every action had to be perfect. The tension in the strategy meetings was palpable. We knew that the success of the operation hinged on our ability to anticipate and counter every possible scenario. The weight of responsibility was heavy on our shoulders, and the fear of failure was a constant companion. The room hummed with tension. The command center was a hive of activity, with officers monitoring live feeds, analyzing data, and coordinating field operations. The atmosphere was electric, charged with a mix of anxiety and determination. Every officer knew their role, and they executed their duties with precision and focus. The success of the operation depended on our ability to work as a cohesive unit, and we were determined to see it through. Faces etched with determination, fear a constant companion. We knew the stakes. Each officer, each detective carried the weight of the mission on their shoulders. The fear of failure was ever present, but it was overshadowed by our resolve to succeed. We were driven by a sense of duty, a commitment to justice, and a desire to protect our community. The stakes were high, but our determination was higher. This was bigger than just us. It was about restoring faith in the system, about showing the community that we were there to protect and serve. The operation was a beacon of hope for a city that had been under siege for too long. It was a chance to reclaim our streets, to bring justice to those who had been wronged, and to send a clear message that crime and corruption would not be tolerated. This was about taking back our city, piece by bloody piece. It was a battle for the soul of our community, a fight to restore peace and order. The operation was a testament to our resolve, our courage, and our unwavering commitment to justice. We knew it would be a long and arduous journey, but we were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, we would reclaim our city and build a safer, brighter future for all. Leading the charge was Detective Miller. A man of few words but many actions, Miller was known for his relentless pursuit of justice. His colleagues often said he had a sixth sense when it came to solving crimes, a gift that had earned him the nickname, the architect within the precinct. He was the one who could see the bigger picture, the one who could piece together the puzzle when others saw only chaos, hardened eyes, haunted by years on the force. Each wrinkle on his face told a story of battles fought and lives lost. The weight of his experiences bore down on him, but it also fueled his determination. He had seen the worst humanity had to offer, and it had only made him more resolute in his mission. The city was his canvas, and he was determined to paint a picture of justice, no matter the cost. He knew the streets better than anyone. Every alley, every shadowy corner was etched into his memory. The city was alive, breathing, and he could feel its pulse. He walked these streets not as a stranger, but as a guardian. The urban jungle was his domain, and he navigated it with the precision of a seasoned hunter. The night was his ally, the darkness a cloak that concealed his movements as he closed in on his prey. He'd lost friends, colleagues, good men and women to the Serpent's venom. Each badge on the memorial wall was a reminder of the cost of their fight. The Serpent was a cunning adversary, always one step ahead, always leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But Miller was not one to back down. The losses only strengthened his resolve. He carried the memories of his fallen comrades with him, a silent vow to bring their killer to justice. This wasn't just another case for him. It was personal. The Serpent had taken too much from him, and he was determined to put an end to its reign of terror. The crime board in his office was a testament to his obsession. Photos, maps, and notes were pinned in a chaotic array, but to Miller it all made sense. Each piece of evidence was a thread in the web he was weaving, a step closer to ensnaring his elusive foe. Miller slammed his fist on the table, his voice a gravelly whisper. "We can't let them win," he said, his eyes burning with intensity. The room fell silent, the weight of his words hanging in the air. His team knew the stakes, and they trusted him to lead them through the storm. They had seen him in action, had witnessed his unyielding determination. They were ready to follow him into the fray, to fight alongside him in the battle for their city. "We hit them hard, we hit them fast, and we hit them all at once," he continued, outlining the plan with precision. There was no room for error, no margin for hesitation. The Serpent was a master of evasion, but Miller was confident in their strategy. They would strike with the force of a hurricane, leaving no stone unturned, no hiding place untouched. It was a high-risk operation, but the reward was worth it. The city needed them to succeed. No second chances, no hesitation. Miller's voice was firm, his resolve unshakable. "We do this right or we don't do it at all," he said, looking each member of his team in the eye. They nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They knew what was at stake, and they were ready to give it their all. The Serpent had eluded them for too long, but tonight, they would turn the tide. Tonight, they would bring the fight to the enemy. They slipped through our fingers this time, they might as well run the whole damn city. Miller's frustration was palpable, but it was also a driving force. He couldn't afford to let the Serpent win, not when so much was on the line. The city was counting on them, and failure was not an option. As he looked out at the empty streets, he felt a surge of determination. This was their moment, their chance to make a difference, and they would seize it with everything they had. Section 40 hour. The air crackled with anticipation, the clock ticked down. Outside, the city slept, oblivious to the storm brewing. This was it, no turning back. Miller looked at each of us, his gaze lingering, a silent promise in his eyes. 3 a.m. The silence shattered, sirens wailing, doors crashing down, a symphony of chaos orchestrated with ruthless precision. Years of planning, boiling over in one night of fire and fury. Section 5. A city under siege. The city erupted. Gunfire, screams, the stench of fear and gunpowder filling the air. Streets turned into war zones, every corner, every alleyway a potential death trap, but we were ready for them. The element of surprise, our only advantage. We hit their safe houses, their labs, their distribution centers, cutting off the head of the Serpent. But El Jefe? He was still out there, the Serpent's venom still coursing through the city veins. Section 6, into the Serpent's lair. The final piece of the puzzle, El Jefe's stronghold, a fortress hidden in plain sight. We stormed the building, our boots pounding a heavy rhythm against the concrete. Every room, every hallway, a potential ambush. Tension hung thick in the air, suffocating. And then we found him, El Jefe, holed up in his office, surrounded by bodyguards, a feral glint in his eyes. He wasn't going down without a fight. Section 7, Dawn. The gunfight was brutal, a whirlwind of bullets and screams. When the dust settled, silence descended, heavy and absolute. El Jefe was down, his empire crumbling around him, the Serpent, finally slain. As dawn broke, a new day bled into the city. Scars remained, a reminder of the battle fought and won. The city, battered but not broken, began to breathe again. The Serpent's grip had loosened, we were free.